recording now. You should have your student workbook open to page 114, a pencil or something to write with, and your calculator, please. Okay, so before class today, you watched the lesson 23 video. In the video, there's one brand new term today, and the teacher was also talking about something that we've been doing in school a lot. So who can give me a summary? What happened in the video today? Chase?
We already know like 28 equals 7 times 4, and we know like the stuff like that.
Okay, so she used what operation to check for factors today?
Division.
Okay, so Chase, so for example, if we wanted to see if 4 was a factor of 28, what would I do? What would I put in my calculator?
28 divided by 4.
Okay, so now I'm going to try to share my screen with you. Oh my goodness. Let's see if you guys can see my calculator. Okay, so I'm going to share screen. Can you see my calculator? Shake your head if you can. Okay, yes. So if I'm checking to see if 4 is a factor of 28, Chase, 28's the number I'm trying to see if 4 is a factor. What would I put in my calculator?
28 divided by 4.
So 4 right here is the number that we're trying to see if it is a factor of 28. I get a whole number 7. So that tells me yes. So 7 and 4, remember, division and multiplication are opposites. 7 times 4 equals 28. So the factors would be 7 and 4. Brian, do you have a question?
I just see like it has your like home screen in the background and a little square with the
you see the calculator?
A little bit because it's like small.
Okay, that's all that you're going to see right now because I didn't share the whole picture with you. Okay, so other than using division to find factors, what else was discussed in the video today?
What do you expect? And they're going to get made fun of.
Whoa. If I watched the video today, this would be the first thing I would have said because this was brand new. Carissa?
I forgot.
Sarah?
Associative property.
The associative property. Very good. Do you remember what that means?
No.
Does anyone remember? Colin?
In the video, it was basically like, in the example are 2 and 3 factors of 54, and they knew that 6 times 9 is 54, and they broke up 6 into 2 times 3. Then
okay, so it's kind of taking numbers and showing different combinations that work and then kind of switching them around. And there's a really good example in our journal that will really show the associative property today. Maria, let's take your toys and put them away, okay? You can play with those after math. Okay, before we get going with your workbook, Kellyanne, are you going to join us today? Let's turn your camera on if you are, please. Any questions before we start? Carter, do you have some lights on so that you can see wherever you're working?
Looks like Tegan has a question, Mrs. Shav.
Go ahead, Tegan.
There's somebody else named Kelly Shevchik in the room. Do you know who this is?
Yeah, that's our student teacher, Miss Gabine. She's sitting over in the library. So you'll get to meet her tomorrow. Noah, are you ready? Carter, are you there? Noah. Okay, are you coming to math today? Let's turn the television off, please. Put your headphones on. Noah, unmute yourself, please. Okay, are you all set up? Because you're looking somewhere that's not up the screen. Where are the lights in your room?
Maybe I just.
Carter Sefchuk, are you here? Got your pencil, Noah? You got your workbook? Are you using your headphones today or are you leaving them out? Oh, good job. Where'd you find your calculator? Did someone come pick it up for you?
It's my brother's.
Oh, great. Okay, good job, brother. Letting you borrow it. Are you using headphones today or are you just leaving them off?
Huh?
Are you using your headphones today? Okay. Carter, unmute yourself. What's going on, Carter? Carter. Noah, what are you looking at over there? Noah, unmute yourself, please. Carter, is there a problem with your computer? Noah, can you hear me? Okay, please answer then. What are you looking at in front of you? That's not the computer screen. What are you watching?
TV.
What?
TV.
Turn the TV off, please. We're 12 minutes in. We could have a couple problems done already. And I apologize to the 40 other people that are just waiting for me to go back and forth. But these are the things, guys, that need to be done before you get on. The TV needs to be turned off. Your lights need to be turned on. This is every day. And it's so sad that the same people have to sit and listen to this spiel that come and are ready to work. Carter, what's wrong? What's going on? Do you have a problem with the computer? Why aren't you speaking at all? Miss Jameson, do you know if he was having a problem earlier?
No, I'm not aware of any other problems. It looks like, I mean, he's unmuted now, but I'm not hearing, it looks like he's trying to talk, but I don't hear anything. Carter, do you have anything to speak into, a microphone or any other buttons on the computer? You can unmute, turn the volume up on the computer.
Oh, now I heard something.
Talk, Carter.
Okay.
Carter,
I'm
can you
gonna
speak?
I'm going to send your mom a message now so she knows there's something going on with your computer.
Maybe he can't hear us. Can you hear us, Carter? You can. Can you talk into the computer? Nothing. We're not getting any volume.
Okay. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Can you find Carter's mom on here? And just, it should be Carter S, send her a message and say, we seem to be having a problem with Carter's computer. We can't hear anything he's saying. Thank you. Okay, we're going to
Maybe he's
talk about
maybe
some
he's gonna come
factors
back on.
today and talk about the associative property. So everyone should be on page 114. Now I'm going to share my screen nice and big. Nolan, go ahead and read the directions for number 1, please.
Is
is explain your thinking. Use division to answer the following. Explain your thinking, or use division to answer the following.
Okay, so letter A says is 2 a factor of 84. So I'm going to leave my calculator here. And Nolan, I want you to tell me if I want to see if 2 is a factor of 84, what would I put in my calculator?
84 divided by 2 equals
What are you getting, Nolan?
42.
So what's your answer to the question? Is 2 a factor of 84?
2 is a factor of 84.
Okay, so we're going to answer yes. And then what could our proof be?
84 divided by 2 equals 42.
Great job. We can use an equation. 84 divided by 2 equals 42. Now I'm going to go down one column and then we'll go to the next one. Okay, so we're going to go down my list. Brian, letter C, is 3 a factor of 84? Tell us what to do to figure it out.
$84 divided by 3.
Is 3 a factor of 84?
Yes.
What's our proof?
84 divided by 3 equals 28.
Brian, how do you know by looking at this on the calculator that 28 and 3 are factors of 84?
Because there isn't like 14.3333.
Very good. So there's not a remainder or a decimal. We have a whole number. So that means when you divide it, you get an equal amount. Very good. Okay, Soren, is 6 a factor of 84?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
I went on my iPad.
Okay, we're good to go now.
Let me look.
So Soren, what should I put in my calculator?
What page is it?
Yes.
114. Soren, what should I put in my calculator?
6. Well, 4. Well, actually, it actually 84 divided by 14.
No. 84 divided by what? Look at letter E.
6.
So we get 14 as our answer. So is 6 a factor of 84? Yes or no?
No.
When we put 84 divided by 6 in the calculator, what did we get for our answer?
14.
Is that a whole number or a decimal or something with a
whole
remainder?
number.
Okay, so that means that yes, 6 is a factor of 84, because if I do the opposite, 14 times 6, it equals 84. So we could even put 14 times 6 equals 84. So our factors are what in this equation, Soren? What are the factors in this equation?
The factors are 6 and 14.
Good. The two numbers that we multiply together to get what as our answer?
84.
Do you remember what the math word for the answer of a multiplication problem is? We have factor times factor equals what? Give you a hint. It starts with a P.
I don't know. I forget.
Yes, you do. Rhymes with schmoduct. Starts with a P.
I don't know.
Someone help him out. Anyone, unmute yourself.
Product.
Product.
There you go. Thank you. All right, Chase, letter G. Is 5 a factor of 84?
You do 84 divided by 5.
Okay, before I put this in the calculator, Chase, I feel like you're pretty good with your facts. So I'm going to ask you this. Before I hit enter, do you think you know if 5 is a factor of 84?
I think it's not.
Why do you think no?
Because anything times 5 ends in a 0 or a 5.
Very good. Great explanation. So I'm just going to show some proof here. So when I do 84 divided by 5, I get 16.8. So I'm going to put 84 divided by 5 does not equal a whole number. That's our proof. But since Chase knows, very confident in his facts, 5 times anything is always going to give you a product that has a 5 or a 0 in the ones place. All right, I'm going to look at someone else that I think's looking for someone else that's pretty good with their facts. I've been writing a lot of certificates to Jack, I think. Jack, I want you to help me with the next one, okay?
Okay.
Jack, go ahead and read letter B for me.
Is 2 a factor of 83?
Okay, so Jack, before I put anything in my calculator, what do you know about the number 2 and factors?
It's an even number?
So is 83 an even number?
No, it is an odd
So
number.
do you think 2 is going to be a factor of 83?
No.
What would I put in my calculator to check?
Wait. 84 divided by 2.
83.
Sorry.
That's okay.
83 divided by 2 equals
Do we
this.
get a whole number?
No.
What'd you get? Good. So 83 divided by 2 equals 41.5. So it is not a factor. Why this keeps getting so dark. Not a factor of 83. Very good. Okay, letter D, Riley.
Um, 92 divided
Hold on,
by
read
2
the problem, please. Read the problem, please.
is 2 a factor of 92.
So Riley, I want you to think about what you know about the number 2 and 92. What type of relationship do you see here?
They're both even.
So do you think 2 will be a factor of 92?
Yeah.
Okay, so what should I put in my calculator?
92 divided by 2.
Gives us?
46.
Very good. So you were correct. Okay, Zoe, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Me?
Read letter F.
Is 4 a factor of 92?
Okay, have you been writing these down? Because when you get your math journal tomorrow, you're going to have to put all these in your journal. Do you have all these written? Okay, so what would I put in my calculator to see if 4 is a factor of 92?
You would put down the 92
Okay.
and divided by 4.
And what does that give me, Zoe?
23, and that's an even number.
Look, 23 ends in a 3. Is 3 even or odd?
Odd.
Odd. So it's okay that it's an odd number, but is 23 a whole number or is it a decimal?
A whole number.
It is. So since 92 divided by 4 gives me a whole number, is 4 a factor of 92?
Yes.
Very good. because there's no remainder when we divide. Next week, we're going to be learning how to divide big numbers using your pencil and paper and not a calculator. So this is really good practice for next week. Okay, Julian Pletcher, letter H. Is 8 a factor of 92? Tell me what to do.
Is a factor of 92? No. 92 divided by 8 equals 11.5.
Okay, I'm going to put that in my calculator. Okay, no. So I've not, my proof is 92 divided by 8 equals 11 and a half, 11.5. So we do not have a whole number. Okay, so I'm gonna look at you guys. I want you to give me a thumbs up. How many of you feel pretty comfortable using the calculator to see if something is a factor? Give me a thumbs up if you feel good with the calculator. Good, I hope you're becoming more familiar. Okay, now we're gonna go on to page 115. And I want you to put something, trying to move you guys so I can see better. I want you to put something, some kind of bubble, stars around this term, associative property. We're not going to get that in depth with this property. We just want to make sure you know what the term means and you've seen it, you're familiar with it, you're exposed to it. We're going to do letter B. So we're going to use the associative property to find more factors of the number 36. So move this over and I'm going to zoom in so you can see well. So this is like a puzzle. We have 36 equals blank times 4. Okay, so we need to figure out here, what can I multiply 4 by to get 36? And I have my calculator here still. Raise your hand if you think you can tell me what I can do to see what times 4 gives me 36. I lost everyone's faces. Hold on a second. There you are. Okay, Hunter, go ahead and unmute yourself. What can I do to figure out what times 4 equals 36?
Find out what times 4 equals 36.
Nice and loud, honey.
First you could try, well, obviously 1 times 4, but that wouldn't equal 36.
Okay, you could go through all of your facts, your 4 facts. Okay, so what do you want to try? 4, 1 times 4. What's 2 times 4?
8.
3 times 4.
6. 3 times 4 is 12.
4 times 4.
16.
5 times 4.
20.
6 times 4.
24.
7 times 4.
28.
8 times 4.
32.
9 times 4.
36.
So I can put my 9 here. Does anyone have another way that we could have figured that out? If you didn't, I don't know why all your faces keep disappearing from my screen. Another way that you could figure out what, all right, we're just gonna, how could you use your calculator to figure out what times 4 gave you 36? Elijah, what could you do?
3.
Were you listening to anything I said?
9 times 4 equals 36.
That was not my question. Who was listening? Peyton?
We can't hear you, Peyton. Unmute yourself. Can you speak into the the microphone or something?
All right, Nolan, give it a try.
36 divided by 4 equals 9.
There you go. Put that in the calculator and you get the same answer. Okay, so now we're going to break this down. We have our 4 just traveling down the path. Let's have Carson, unmute yourself. We're going to take this 9 and we're going to divide it into 2 pieces. So if I take this 3, I need to figure out 3 times what gives me 9.
3.
So I'm going to put a 3 here because when I have these parentheses, this tells me to do this first. 3 times 3 equals 9. Does anyone know what big word? We've talked about this in school before. We just took 9 and we broke it up into 3 times 3. What's that called? It's also what happens when like an animal is dead and it's on the side of the road and it just keeps breaking down and breaking down. What's that called? What's the science term? Julian Dixon, did you just get here? Anyone, can you unmute yourself? Do you know what that's called? When you're taking
Decomposing.
Good job, Tegan, decomposing. So we decomposed 9 into 3 times 3. So now here, all we did was switch around where the parentheses are. So I have a 4, a 3, and I'm going to bring my 3 down again. So whether you're multiplying 9 times 4, we get 36. Now I want to show you this row. If I put in my calculator, parentheses, 3 times 3 times 4, I get 36. Now I'm going to try this row. 3 times, parenthesis, 3 times 4, parenthesis, equals 36. So these all equal 36. Now, Ilea, I have 3 times 4 gives me 12. What's going to go on this line? I put these together to give me 12. What would go here? Look above. You're just moving it down.
3.
3. So if I put 3 times 12 in my calculator, Ilea, what do I get?
36.
So, Ilea, what goes on this line? What is 3 times 12?
36.
So each one of these lines equals 36. That's really what the associative property is telling you, that you can take one of these numbers and break it down and decompose it into 2 other numbers and then keep switching around who's being multiplied by who, and you're still getting the same answer. Let me just do a little check here. I'm getting lots of things in the chat and I can't open the chat when I'm trying to. Oh, Julian, we're on page 115. Julian, you're going to have to go back and watch the first half hour of this because you've missed the first half hour of class, okay? Okay? Are you there? Okay, I see your head shaking. I couldn't find you. Okay. Let's go ahead and move on to number 4. Number 4 is really a thinking problem. So this is telling you that the first statement is false. The second statement is true. We need to explain why. So let's just focus on one statement at a time. Carter, you watching? Are you paying attention? Okay, let's try to focus. We're almost there. If a number has 2 and 4 as factors, then it has 8 as a factor. So they're telling us that this is false. How can we show that? Or how could we prove that? 2 and 4 are factors. 8 would not be a factor. Can anyone think of an example of any number? So think something that you can multiply 2 and 4 by, but not 8. Noah, what do you think? I can't hear you, honey. Why don't you type it in the chat? I can't hear you. Or you can show me with your fingers, maybe. Okay, 4 times 6, are you saying 24? Okay, so 24. Does 2 times anything equal 24, Noah? Does 2 times anything equal 24? Okay. I'll put this in my calculator. (24) divided by 2. So 2 times 12. So 2 is a factor. Let's see 4. 24 divided by 4. 6 is a factor. Let's try 8. 24 divided by 8. And 8 is a factor. So 24 does not work because 2, 4, and 8 are all factors. Someone else. So you want to think of a number that has 2 as a factor and 4, but not 8. Zoe, you have an idea? Come on, I got one. Think, go through your facts. Something that 2 can be multiplied by to get a number and 4, but not 8. Cooper?
8 as the product.
Can 8 be multiplied by anything to get 8?
No.
Think again. 8 times what equals 8?
Oh.
1.
1. So 8 does not work. Tanya, do you have an idea?
I was going to say 8 times 1.
I got one. Miss Jamison, you have one?
Yes.
I have one.
Okay.
I have one.
Julian, what do you think?
2
12.
times 4.
Well, 2 times 4 gives you 8. So 2, 4, and 8 are all factors. So that doesn't work. We need a number that 8 would, this is saying it has to have 8. We want to prove that this is false. Riley?
12.
Okay, so Riley, let's see. 2 times what gives you 12?
2 times 4.
2 times 6.
Okay, so 2 is a factor. What about 4?
4 times 3.
Okay, 4 times 3 equals 12. What about 8? 8 times what equals 12? Riley, 8 times what equals 12? Can it be done?
No.
No. So you're correct. Here's our example for the first one. Just because 2 and 4 are factors of 12, 8 does not work. Very good. Okay, now we want to show that if a number has 8 as a factor, then it has 2 and 4. So think about this property that we just talked about. Why, well, and we'll do this one over here. If 8 is a factor of something, then why could we say that 2 and 4 would always be factors? Think about what we did up here with decomposing. Why will 2 and 4 always be factors? Okay. Julian?
Are they both?
Because they're multiplied by 8.
Not 8. No, they both fit in 8 is what she was saying.
Go ahead, honey. What were you going to say? Think about the number. What do you know about the numbers 2 and 4 and 8? Think about multiplication, Julian. What do you know about the numbers 4, 2, and 8? Do you see any kind of relationship between them?
They're all even numbers.
You're right. They are all even. Julian, what happens when you multiply 4 times 2?
Equals 8.
Okay, so 8 equals 2 times 4. So that's showing you, like up here, like when we decompose 9 into 3 and 3, no matter what combination we used, 4 times 3 or 3 times 3, we would still get 36 in the end. So this is telling you that if 8 is a factor of a number, 2 and 4 will be factors because you can decompose 8 into 2 times 4 or 4 times 2. So this is really just giving you some tips when you're going through your factors and you're trying to figure out is 2 a factor, is 4 a factor. If you have a bigger number like 9, any number that 9 is a factor of, what do we decompose 9 to? What do you multiply together to get 9, Trace? What do you multiply together to get 9? Trace Walker. Trace, talking to you. Unmute yourself.
Yeah.
What do you multiply together to get 9? Other than 9 times 1, what's another factor pair?
3 times 3.
So anytime 9 is a factor of something, 3 will also be a factor. Sophia, what can you multiply together to get 15? Other than 15 times 1. We're not using 1.
5 and 3.
So any number that has a product, any number that has 15 as a factor, Sophia, also has 5 and 3 as a factor. Isla, what can you multiply together to get 16? Give me any fact that equals 16.
8 times 2.
So any number that has 16 as a factor also has 8 and 2. Reese, other than 8 times 2, what else can you multiply to get 16?
Do you mean like that turnaround fact or no?
No, no turnaround facts. This is a double. What else can you, is this another whole different factor?
8
What's a
times-
number that you can multiply by itself to get 16?
16 times 1.
No, we're not doing ones. Carissa?
4 times 6.
Nope, 4 times 6 equals 24. I went 16. Carson?
8 times 2.
We already did that one. This is a double, Nevaeh?
4 times 4.
Thank you. So any number that has 16 as a factor also has 4. So when you get a number and you see how it can be decomposed into other numbers, that will help you with its factors. Okay, so that's your homework. Or I'm sorry, that was your must-do problems for today. There's still one more thing for you to do for math class, and I think we could all use this. Who looked at your Schoology page? Who knows what your last task for today is?
Extra math.
Thank you, whoever said that, Chase. Extra math. So I'll be getting on and checking today to make sure you put in your minutes for the day.
I like the new app